Millions of people around the world are taking advantage of the home sharing economy offered by sites like Airbnb.com and VRBO.com. Today, we're going to talk just a little bit about Airbnb to help you decide if it's really right for you. So stay tuned. Welcome to the Airbnb Lifestyle Podcast, a show about renting your spare bedroom or entire house on Airbnb. We're your hosts, Joseph and Izzy. So sit back, grab a cup of coffee, and relax while we teach you how to live the Airbnb lifestyle. We're going to teach you how to live. We're going to teach you how to live the Airbnb lifestyle. We're going to teach you how to live. We're going to teach you how to live. We're going to teach you how to live the Airbnb lifestyle. That was good. That was good. Whew. Welcome to the Airbnb Lifestyle Podcast number 4. I'm Joseph, your Washington, D.C. Airbnb superhost. You can find us on YouTube at the Airbnb Lifestyle, and you can see our Airbnb listing at the AirbnbLifestyle.com. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most important details you need to think about when deciding to become an Airbnb host, your listing. Most new Airbnb hosts don't realize that your listing will make or break your Airbnb business. Now, if you remember the old saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Well, your Airbnb listing is the first impression to potential guests, and you need to make a good first impression if you want to succeed as an Airbnb host. If you have a poorly worded or confusing listing with badly lit photos, I can almost guarantee you that you're selling yourself short and your Airbnb rentals will be minimal. Now, the good news is, and there's always good news, is that with just a little planning and elbow grease, you can create an engaging and well put together listing that will put you on a level playing field with your Airbnb competition. So today we're going to focus on the photography aspect of your listing. And I'm going to challenge you to take a look at some of the most successfully reviewed Airbnb hosts in your general area. You'll notice several similarities amongst the most successful listings in your area. And one of the first and most glaring qualities that they all share is well-lit photos strategically placed within the first few pictures that the customer sees. The reason you put your best photos first is to entice the potential guest to continue to look at your listing further. So put your best photo as the main photo and then follow up with additional great photos placed in the beginning of your listing. Airbnb allows you to upload as many photos as you like. I believe that the optimal number of photos is somewhere between 15 to 25. That doesn't mean you can't have more photos, but you don't want to inundate the potential guest with too many photos. I can't focus enough on the importance quality photos play to give your potential guests an overall feeling of what your dwelling offers. Now, here comes the most challenging consideration of all when it comes to photos. What makes a quality photo? Think about that. What really makes a good photo? Well, properly lit photos rank at the top, at least in my opinion, followed closely by interesting and well thought out subject matter. I guess what I'm getting at is don't take a picture of a dark corner with a fridge. That's not going to entice anyone to want to look further. It's just kind of boring. And there's nothing that will get the potential guest to look at someone else's Airbnb listing quicker than the idea that you, the host, really doesn't care about a quality listing. After all, how can you convince someone that your listing is amazing if the photos just plain suck? You heard the saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, on Airbnb, your pictures are worth 1,000 words and more. So make them count. One way to make them count is by using Airbnb's free photography service in select areas. A photographer will come out to your home and take photos at no charge to you. I think that's really awesome of Airbnb to offer this service. I mean, it does help them, but I really think that it helps the potential host much more. I mean, photos are expensive. If you can do it yourself, great. If the Airbnb photo service is in your area, by all means, take advantage of it. If your area isn't covered, Airbnb says that cell phone pics are acceptable. Now, I've seen some decent cell phone pics on Airbnb, but in my opinion, if you can afford to have it done professionally, do it. The payoff is definitely worth it. Now, in my area, Washington, D.C., Airbnb doesn't offer the free service, so I just took pictures of my own place. I already own a DSLR camera, which is what the pros use, and I'm actually pretty decent with it. So if you already have a DSLR camera and want to take pictures yourself, in my opinion, a 10 to 18 millimeter lens is the absolute best lens you can buy for this type of photography. Not only is it sharp, but it offers a really wide field of view. This is a really good lens for tight areas like bathrooms where it's hard to get a wide enough view because of the size of the room. You can check out my pics for yourself by visiting my website at the AirbnbLifestyle.com and clicking on the Our Listing link. And leave a comment below, if you would, and tell me what you think about my pictures. I think they're pretty good. If you decide to take pics yourself, whether with a cell phone or a DSLR camera, lighting is another consideration that can really make or break your Airbnb business. It doesn't really make a difference what kind of light you use. Just make sure the room you're taking pictures of is bright in all areas. And if you have light behind you, either natural or lamps or, whatever, you should get a pretty good pic. And in a perfect situation, outside light through an open window is prime. There's also nothing wrong with pictures that have an artistic flair, if that's your thing. Beautiful art or interesting architectural features can do wonders to make your listing stand out. What you should really be going for are well-lit photos that focus on the unique qualities or furnishings that make your dwelling stand out. I really like to try and capture the energy and the overall feel of my apartment through my photos, and you should do the same. Now, an example from my Airbnb would be my Buddha door knocker that I have attached to my front door. Since my Airbnb is a cross between a Zen, spa, relaxation, type of eclectic motif kind of space, I make sure that this energy comes across in all of my photos. I also like to focus on the privacy and anonymity aspect of my dwelling, so I make sure to show my apartment's private yard with a garden that has a Buddha statue sitting right in the middle of it. I think it really shows the spirit and energy of what my Airbnb offers. If you don't have the skill or the money for the equipment to produce the kind of photos I'm describing, do not let that stop you from starting your own Airbnb. Just like Nike says, just do it. Get your dwelling listed immediately, but make a decision to use an ABI approach to your listing. Now, some of you who have listened to my previous podcasts know what I'm talking about, but for those of you who don't, ABI is a principle that I use or that I refer to, which means always be improving. Regardless of the current state of your dwelling, you should always have an ABI attitude. Perhaps your Airbnb listing is not what you would like it to be, not your vision for the future, but if you adopt an ABI attitude, always be improving, you will always be improving throughout the life of your Airbnb business. And one day soon, you will have the Airbnb that you always dreamed of. ABI toward yourself, ABI toward your Airbnb listing, and above all, ABI especially to your guests. Always be improving and always be loyal to your guests. And you will literally draw good energy and financial blessings through your Airbnb. This ABI principle has never failed me, and I know it will never fail you. And I believe it's the main reason that I achieved my Airbnb Superhost standing. So this was a short podcast today. I just really wanted to talk about the importance of your photographs in your Airbnb listing. If you like what you heard, please subscribe to my channel, and to be updated on future videos and podcasts, you can visit my webpage at theairbnblifestyle.com. I'm Joseph, your Washington, D.C. Airbnb Superhost. Be loyal to your guests, practice gratitude daily, and above all, stay karmic. And I'll see you at check-in.